Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, coming to you live from the Greatness Factory. I've been on the road for like 2 weeks, so I'm ready and excited to be back coaching you from the Greatness Factory through Super Coach, because I want to multiply your life, I want to multiply your money, I want to multiply your business. Why would you go with this alone? Right, Jason Connor, Andrew Luzmila, Roy Frazier, Christy Nicole, why would you go with this alone? Today I'm going to give you 5 habits of the top monster producing people in the world. I was speaking on this today at lunch, and I'm going to give you, look, when I boil it down of all the top people I coach, these are the habits. These are 5 big things they all do. And if you're not doing these, then you can forget being a top monster producer. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching Super Coach. Hang in here with me today as I break down 5 big habits of top producers.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Michael Burt is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
Hey guys, welcome back, Super Coach. Every week I try to come into your life to give you some good stuff. You know, I'm coaching a lot of people. I got a new cycle of Monster Producer this month. So if you're in the Monster Producer Coaching Program, you need to get registered for your course. How do I replicate me? How do I grow? How do I build? How do I scale? How do I build a team around my unique ability? How do I build a business that I love sharing my enthusiasms with? That's what we're talking about this month. Classes start tomorrow at the Greatness Factory. Go to CoachBurt.com/calendar, CoachBurt.com. Get yourself registered. If you'd like to sit in one time for free, I'm okay with that. Come and check it out and see what we got, because what I consistently break down is what I'm talking about today, habits of the top producers in the world. We all have bad habits. Those habits form over time, typically for one reason. Don't miss this, because we listen to our feelings. When we listen to our feelings, we do bad habits. I don't feel like doing this. I feel like eating this. I don't feel like exercising. I don't feel like prospecting 2 hours a day. I don't feel like it. Listening to our feelings, which will lead us wrong 9 out of 10 times, lead to bad habits. When we fight through those feelings and we do things we don't want to do, like getting up in the morning, making our prospecting calls, working the selling system, following up, servicing customers after the sale. When we do these things, what happens is we build a muscle. And when we build that muscle, our own conscience won't let us out of it. We are really educating our own conscience. Like sitting down at night and mapping out our next day. Man, there's times at night I'm so tired I can't even see straight. But I still sit down and map out my next day. I still take time to plan it out. I still take time to work the selling system. I still come in every day dedicated to 2 hours of prospecting. So a bad habit is formed typically when we need to do something but we don't feel like doing it. We contract and listen to our feelings. So much easier to quit than fight through that discomfort. So much easier to move to something else versus keep going. Big time producers, don't miss this, do not listen to their feelings. The difference, in my opinion, between an amateur and a professional is amateurs listen to their feelings and professionals don't. So what do big time people do? Let me give you 5 things that I'm going to unpack each one of these. Let me give you 5. What's up, Clay Whitaker, Scott Lumley, Chad Applin, Cecilia Jackson, Colleen Carroll? Let me give you 5 things that I think big time people do. Number 1, these are 5 maxims. They go to bed tired and they wake up hungry. Everything in their life goes to zero. I was down in Miami, Florida last week, and I spent 2 hours with Grant Cardone at 10X headquarters, and we were having this long conversation about how everything goes to zero, man. How do you build something that lasts? Everything goes to zero. One day they love you, one day they hate you, one day you change their life, one day they don't know who you are. His point was everything goes to zero at some point. How do you build something that lasts? Okay, well, I want to use that in a different framework. In my opinion, at midnight every night, everything goes to zero. You've heard success is not something you own, it's something you rent. Here's the interesting thing. The big time producers that I coach go to bed like they're broke every night. People that are little time people, they go to bed as if they're rich. They go to bed fat and happy, complacent. Big time people go to bed, they go to bed tired, and they wake up hungry. Everything goes to zero every single night. They start over at zero every single night. One big habit of them, I'm going to unpack this. Second big habit of big time people, they understand mastery versus cotton candy. Big time people understand mastery versus cotton candy. When you see a person doing something and they're really, really good at doing something, it's because they've developed one primary skill. That skill, when nurtured, honed, refined, practiced over 10,000 hours, becomes so automatic to them, it's like muscle memory. It's like my buddy Tim Grover said, thinking is a liability in big time situations, Phil Leverett. Thinking is a liability, Lee Kentoff. What you need is muscle memory. In muscle memory is the memory of success. Confidence is the memory of success. It's an internal knowing you can create or manifest what you want. So big time people are interested in mastery. They've done it so many times, it looks easy. Here's the deal, it ain't easy. So when you think about this and you're thinking about yourself, do you start, quit, start, quit, start, quit? How good can you be at something when you start and quit? Right? Like I had somebody that started the coaching program and wanted to quit within the first 10 days. I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna be any good if you quit before you even get started. Do you know the people that are earning $500,000 and above with me are people I have been coaching for 6+ years? You know what that is? Mastery versus cotton candy. They have mastered these concepts. Big habit number 3, the big people, they have a long obedience in the same direction. They don't have a short obedience in different directions. They have a long obedience in one single direction. Take Cardone. His primary skill is selling. It's selling. Then he has multiplied that skill into other arenas. But if you said, what is his primary skill? It's this. What is Coach's primary skill? Coaching. Okay? What is your primary skill? And how long and what kind of runway can you have in that? So the third one is they don't have a short obedience in multiple directions. Laser-like focus. Long obedience, same direction, 10,000 hours of practice. Number 4, they chop wood and they carry water every single day. I like to attack a day versus have a day attack me. And when I was a women's basketball coach, my goal was to get the ball to the midline in 2.3 seconds. Get the ball to the midline in 2.3 seconds. You know what that was? Offense, baby. All offense. What does that look like in your business? What does it look like to play offense every day? To get in there and hit singles and doubles every single day. Not always home runs, singles and doubles every day. It means minimum of 2 hours of prospecting every day. It means 7 touches in the follow-up when somebody indicates interest. It means service after the sale to get 5.7 referrals. It means we chop wood and carry water every day with our person of interest score. It means we work a prospecting system. We chop wood and we carry water. We hit singles and doubles. And then we hit a home run every now and then, right? So number 4 is big time producers come in every day and they produce every day. And I'll come back and tell a story about an agent that I coach that's a big time person. Number 5, they work in the unseen hours. I think Alan Stein has a concept out there like the unseen hours, like I spend 4 hours on Sunday preparing while other people are out at the lake. Okay, because it's very important that I come in, I'm prepared, I'm ready to go, I have something valuable to say, I'm ready to move the world forward. Last night I was spending time putting together my presentations for today. I think, I study, I reflect. Here's the deal, how do you spend your weekends? High performance people spend their weekends rejuvenating, meditating, growing, reading, studying. Low performance people spend their weekends escaping from their work from the week that they hate. You got to make a decision if you're going to be low performance or high performance. So today, I would love to hear some comments of you out there, guys, as we go to break right now. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, Jason Connor said, I quit Monster Producer once. Hey, but he's back, and he's being a monster producer. I'm so proud of that dude, okay? Type in some comments there of what you think high producers are. When we come back in segment number 2, I'm going to unpack some of these with a story about each one. These are 5 things I see big-time people do. These are 5 big habits that big-time producers do to be the top producers in the world. Listen, not just a top producer in your market, not just a top producer in your company. You should be thinking about being a top producer in the world. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and you're watching Super Coach. Welcome back to Super Coach All these shows brought to you by Holtzy Health and Wellness. Little energy boost. I was just with the good doctor this week in Houston, Texas, getting my energy right, getting my levels right, coming in with a lot of juice, and everything's going good there in Houston. So if you're trying to get your energy to a higher level, then I want to encourage you, Chris D. Estes, get on out to Holtzy Health and Wellness Center in Houston, Texas, and let them push you to a high level. Colleen Carroll said, high producers share their knowledge and passion with others. They generate enthusiasms. They generate enthusiasm. That word enthusiasm means God within. They generate enthusiasm. What are habits of top producers? Okay, when you think about these habits of these top producers, when I'm thinking about these habits, I'm like, okay, that dude always does that. The top real estate agent I ever coached was in Clemson, South Carolina. He came in every morning at 8 a.m. He wore a suit every day. He had his initials on his name. He had his name inside his jacket. 8 a.m. every morning. 8:30 he met with his team. 9 to 11 he prospected every single day. Nothing but new money. He then took lunch, always with an influencer. He then solved problems in the afternoon. And he made over $1 million a year personally. Habits, 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 okay? So let's look at some of these. Number one, big time people go to bed tired and they wake up hungry. Remember this saying, one of my favorite sayings of all time, and it really needs to be a book. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. Like winter is coming whether you're ready for it or not. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and what you did all summer. And you're either preparing for that winter or you're not. Number two, it all goes to zero. You got to start thinking about building something that lasts. Many of us are in business models where we got to sell it, we got to sell it, we got to sell it again. We need to be thinking, how do we build something that lasts? How do we build something that perpetuates? How do we build something that never ends? It doesn't go to zero. Number three, big time producers are always on offense and they attack like a cheetah. They're not turtles. They're cheetahs. Turtles come in slow, barely moving around. Cheetahs are on offense, guys, and that's what big time people do. Now, let's talk about mastery. Habit number two, mastery versus cotton candy. Cotton candy tastes good for a second and then it goes away. A lot of people are in the business of cotton candy. They want it right now. They want to taste it right now. Here's the process. First, you watch a master. That's why at some point I'm going to write the book, Go for the Mentor Over the Money. First, you watch a master. Then you practice what you see the master do. Then you become a master. There's typically 4 to 7 years of watching, 4 to 7 years practicing, 4 to 7 years of becoming. So when you study mastery, all the big time people have done that. But that's a lost art in today's society. We don't want to mentor. We don't want to do anything that we don't get paid for. That's the thing, right? 80% of what I do, I don't get paid on. I only get paid on 20% of what I do. It has to make up for the 80% of stuff I do for free. So when you're thinking about this, after 10,000 hours of actual practice, you become a master. Big time people don't have this cycle. They don't start with good intention, fall off the wagon, and feel guilty. They have closed that cycle. They've broken that cycle in their life. When they make a commitment, they stick to a commitment. They don't fall off the wagon, and when they do, they get right back on, and they don't experience as much guilt. You know why? Constantly taking action. As my buddy Chris Estes said, there is a power in taking action. There's a power in taking action. Third thing, long obedience in the same direction. I want you to think of it like this. You are being compensated to solve another person's problem with your hard skill. You are being compensated with a primary skill. Most people do not know their primary skill. Primary skill is some unique ability, some superior ability, typically recognized early in life. Typically a birthday gift given to you by the manufacturer, honed, refined, focused on over a long cycle. That hard skill becomes in deep demand. And the more demand you have, you start to build deep networks of people because people are coming to you for that hard skill. Right, Anita Hill? Long obedience, same direction. Primary skill. Once I have my primary skill, I can then build secondary skills. My primary skill is coaching people through the whole person, the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit. My primary skill is activating the prey drive in another person. Now, that's my primary. My secondary skill is building a contagious confidence in people, teaching people how to sell, getting people enthusiastic to move towards something. So what is your primary skill? Big time people have a primary skill. That is one hard skill set that other people are compensating them for. When, on this one, I want you to think, I'm a specialist, I'm not a generalist. I'm a specialist, I'm not a generalist. Okay? So when you're thinking about this, this is very critical. All right, number 4. Big time people chop wood and they carry water. I got this from Phil Jackson. And it is a saying about coming in and doing the daily disciplines that it takes to be serious. Discipline is a derivative of the word disciple, which means to give yourself to a person or cause you believe in. So I ask people, do you believe in your own future? Do you believe in your future? And they're like, oh yeah, of course I do. Where does your future reside, by the way? And that stumps everybody. They're like, where does it live? Where does it, in my heart? It resides in your own imagination. Now the question is, will you become a disciple to that future? Will you have the self-discipline? Will you break the chains of bad habits? Will you become a transition person? Will you step away from the old to become the new? Will you have a break with something to have something new? That's the question. Okay? Will you chop wood and carry water every day when you don't feel like it? Will you have a relentless follow-up? Will you focus 2 hours a day on nothing but new money, new opportunity? Will you service after the sale to get 5.7 referrals? Will you do what it takes to become a person of interest? Will you circulate in the world? Yes or no? That tells me if you want to be a top producer or not. Okay, another piece, and I'll just say this as we begin to close. Top producers have no problem investing in themselves or their future. Like we've got this upcoming, next week I'm doing a course in confidence, swag, how to build contagious confidence. It's $197. It's out at the lodge. Everybody needs it. Confidence is the one thing that affects everything. And I see people go, I don't know if I can afford it. Like one guy on LinkedIn told me, he's like, Coach, I just need this so bad. I've just lost my job and I'm just doing this. And I'm like, great. I got the perfect thing for you. It's I just don't know if I could spend $197 on myself. Hey, cut out Longhorn Steakhouse one night. Cut out a couple margaritas. Cut out wasting money on the weekend to invest in yourself. Big time people are not afraid to invest in themselves, guys. They never see it as an expense. They never see it as an expense. They see it only as an asset, okay? Now, let's wrap it up today on Super Coach with this concept. What are you doing with unseen hours? I spent 20 to 30 in bars, drinking, hungover, wasting all day on Saturday and the weekends, messing around. And I look back on that period of my life and I'm like, man, how did I waste that much time? I was a low performer. Although the world thought I was a high performer, I was a championship coach, I was winning, I was a low performer. High performers do not spend their weekends escaping. High performers spend their weekends reading, thinking, reflecting, spending time with their family, rejuvenating, meditating. They come into the weeks like to not replicate what they did last week. They want to completely recreate themselves from week to week. Like they're 10 times better this week than they were last week. They're not marginally better this week. They're significantly better this week than they were last week. Why? Because of the revelations they had over the weekend. They had a chance to stop, look, and recalibrate. Big time people spend their weekends reading, studying, enriching, improving. Small time people spend their weekend escaping. Let me help you build a life you don't have to escape from. Let me help you build a life of intentional congruence. Let me help you build a life where everything is feeding everything, where you're clicking on every cylinder that you have in the body, in the mind, in the heart, and in the spirit. Listen, I want to thank you for joining Super Coach. May 16 and 17, I got Nick Saban's team psychologist that's going to be at the lodge. Nick's, if he's good enough for Saban, he's good enough for me, and he's good enough for you. Kevin Elko, Dr. Kevin Elko and I are doing performance camp at the lodge, May 16th, 17th. We got VIP tickets. We got day passes. This guy, 18 national championships, been Nick Saban's coach at the University of Alabama the entire time he's been with the Crimson Tide. Philadelphia Eagles, team psychologist. Guess what they did? Won a Super Bowl with him. So he's coming to Murfreesboro, and I was joking with somebody today on the phone, like, he don't come to Murfreesboro much. Big time people don't come to Murfreesboro much. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get tickets, email me or DM right now or put in there that you're interested in coming to Dr. Elko, Coach Burt Performance Camp, May 16 and 17. Or if you want to come to Swag, A Course in Confidence, May 15th at the Lodge from 1 to 4. I can't wait to help you. And let me just close it with this, Jack. Best line I said all day. Let me help you build a life Let me help you build a life that you don't have to either medicate from or escape from. Let me help you become a monster producer. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and this is Super Coach. Hi, I'm Coach Michael Burt, and we created a concept called the Greatness Factory for Kids, a Monster Kids division of Michael Burt Enterprises. And the reason we did that is because we know what adults don't have today that we want to solve in children for tomorrow. What if you could future-proof your child from failing? What if you could teach them a competitive intelligence to thrive in a modern and competitive world? What if you could teach them confidence and how to walk into a room and how to bounce back when they get knocked down and how to work interdependent with other people and how to come with batteries included? See, we want to future-proof kids from winning. Go to greatnessfactoryforkids.com and learn more about what we're doing to build monster kids.